Nintendo Switch is a hit. But this isn't the first time Nintendo has the hit on their hand. They created the Nintendo SNES, Nintendo Game Boy, Nintendo Wii. It's rare for a company to create a successful product. Even more rare is that them doing it consistently, one after another. Though Nintendo did slip with their Wii U, they've had more successes consistently than many other companies can claim. And there are very few companies in this category. Apple is one. The Mac, iPod, iPhone, the iPad, Marvel, with their series of interconnected movies, pushing the boundaries of what sequels are. But not every company has the map to do this. So what makes these companies different? What maps do they use to consistently build a product that is a hit, but also follow it up with another hit, and in doing so, transform the entire industry, push it forward, and in a sense, push the human race forward? Because that is what possibility is, if harnessed. So today, I'll be sharing two maps, two frameworks that if you use it consistently and thinking about and building products, hardware, software, any kind of product, there is a high probability that you will have a hit on your hand. But before we move forward, let's talk about maps. What are maps? We can't comprehend reality in its raw form. Everything we touch, smell, see, and feel is only a drop of the ocean of things that are happening in the world. At this very moment, we don't know what's happening outside the room we're in. We don't know what's happening 10, 30 miles beyond. As powerful as our brains are, it needs to filter things out to function properly. And because of that filtration, we make maps, simplifications of reality, so that we may navigate the world around us. A simple example is, once we felt the burning pain of putting our hands atop flame, we created a map to not too close to fire or even touch it. That is a simple map. We have layers upon layers and complexity upon complexity of maps that our brain creates. And one of the maps that has been almost universal as far as we know is that everything is a system. Everything is an interconnected system. The system can be simply understood by understanding the mechanical systems of a car. A car's essential property is its ability to carry you from one place to another. There is no part of a car, from its motor to its seats to its computer system, that can carry you from one place to another. The system of a car is a product of the interactions of its parts, and not the sum of the parts taken separately. Our essential property as a biological system is life. When any parts are removed from the system, like the heart, the lungs, or the brain, they soon lose its essential property. The Nintendo Switch doesn't have the best display, the best processor, the best memory, but without those elements, it's still able to create an amazing experience for its users. It's the system designed as a whole, taken together, that gives it its unique properties that no individual part, taken separately, can. Products like Nintendo Switch, iPhone, or Avengers Endgame are all byproducts of an organizational system that consistently acts and thinks differently than everyone else. And the frameworks I'm going to introduce today, namely Blue Ocean Strategy and User Story Mapping, if implemented in your organizations, be built into the systems, make everything that you do, you will have the capacity to do just that, to act and think differently than everyone else. It's not easy, it's a map to do it. So the first framework I'm going to introduce that is going to start the process is called Blue Ocean Strategy. Blue Ocean Strategy is built on the observation that there are two kinds of oceans in any economy or marketplace: a blue ocean and a red ocean. Those who find themselves in red oceans are obsessed on beating the competition by either differentiating themselves or undercutting them with lower prices for the same pool of customers. In the short term, competition improves the quality of the products while making it affordable for everyone to buy it. In the long run, everyone bleeds red if they stay in that ocean. Those who swim in blue oceans are those who create new demand and new customers with products that push the industry forward. In the short term, it's hard to walk on your own beat when everyone else is doing the same thing. But in the long run, they become industry leaders and reap the benefits of the industry they created. How can you deliver a high quality product at a low cost? That's the question for Blue Ocean Strategy. This can be even gold years from now, as Tesla set it, as they plan to create a low cost but high quality electric car for the mass market. There are 7 steps to creating a blue ocean. The first step in swimming in a blue ocean is to understand what are the key factors of competition that are in your industry. What are all the supposed agreed rules that everyone in your industry has to play by to even survive, let alone thrive in that market? Key players like Sony's PlayStation or Microsoft's Xbox both had an unsung agreement that you needed the highest quality graphics and games targeted towards the young and middle-aged male demographics to even succeed. The second step is understanding the pain points your target market goes through while going through the entire experience of using the current solutions on the market. Part of this involves ignoring what everyone else is doing or saying and doing the research of these pain points firsthand. You may see things others ignore or are actively blind to. There was a growing demand of mobile games that were presented mainly on smartphones. The current players offered games at home or games on the go, requiring a separate purchase for either experience. This was one pain point Nintendo solved with the Switch and created one device that you could use both on the go and at home. The third step is to explore customers beyond the current market and asking why those customers refuse or don't even know that your market even exists. Competition is a win-lose game where everyone loses the longer they play the game, even if it isn't clear in the short term. Playing a game where everyone can win requires a different map of seeing the world. There were customers from the elderly to the unexplored female demographics that had refused the gaming market. But their success with the Wii and later with the Switch brought new customers to the market as a whole. Once in a market, many gamers end up having more than one console, including a PlayStation or an Xbox. Everyone wins. The fourth step is exploring other industries that seem disconnected to your own. But from the buyer's perspective, they aren't. Here, it's important to remember that everything is an interconnected system. What seems disconnected is just our current lack of understanding of what the connections are. There was a growing market of new gamers who had their first gaming experience on mobile phones, which currently are on the trajectory of getting as powerful as dedicated gaming machines, with games exclusively available for it and nowhere else. Mobile phones are a different market than gaming consoles, but the interconnections between them from the buyer's perspective, who simply wants to just play an engaging game, are one and the same. Nintendo took advantage of these connections better than anyone else in their market. The fifth step is understanding the different individuals who interact with the product and, by extension, the organization that creates and sells it. The person who uses the product, makes the purchasing decision, and the one who influences the purchasing decision can be, and often are, different people. Each of these individuals has their own needs and pain points. Understanding these pain points holistically across these individuals can unlock new demand or even a new market. In the gaming industry, the person playing the game, buying the game, and influencing what game to buy are quite different. Targeting the different needs and wants of these different people created a network effect that propelled Nintendo Switch forward, unlike any others in their market. The sixth step is understanding the functional or emotional reasons people make a purchase. Some products are designed to meet functional reasons, while others are targeted to trigger and meet emotional needs and wants. To create a more broader appeal, organizations often have to understand and provide a compelling reason for both. Having a wide variety of games that emotionally appeals to a wider demographics than just men has always been a core strength for Nintendo. They also appeal to the functional needs to be mobile, as well as provide the ability to actively engage in person with others with their Joy-Con controllers. The seventh step is observing trends that shape the industry early enough before they are forced to react to it. It takes some experience to distinguish between major industry shifting trends and fads or hype. But that experience can mark the difference between defining an industry or simply reacting to it. After going through all 7 steps, you'll have enough knowledge to make decisions on what factors of competition to reduce, eliminate, raise, and create. This will be your blue ocean strategy. A strategy, no matter how good, is only as good as its execution. The well-known secret to execution is answering this question: what should I do right now and why? User story mapping is the second powerful framework or map I want to introduce today to help you answer the whys and what's as you go through the journey to execute your blue ocean strategy. So what is user story mapping? In its simplest form, it's an activity to get designers, engineers, product managers, and leaders to have a shared understanding on what needs to be built, why, and how. A system works not because of its parts, no matter how good they are, but in their interconnections with the other parts in the system. Most products fail because these interconnections between the parts in an organization are broken, scarred, or don't even exist. To start using user story mapping, grab 3 to 5 people from different domains, from engineering to leadership. Ask a question relating to a pain point or problem that needs to be solved. Using sticky notes or index cards, collaboratively list all the steps in the problem that the target audience is experiencing from beginning to end. Then list all the steps the person experiencing the problem does that leads the experience to be the worst possible way it can be for them. What do they do that leads to that outcome? List them out. Do the same for the experience to be the best possible way it can be for them at this moment. What are they doing that leads to that experience? List them out. Start broad and big, and then go into the smallest details over time. Ask questions, rearrange cards or sticky notes to organize what you're learning together visually. Just doing this can increase shared understanding between the different people in the room doing the exercise and their understanding of the problem at hand that they're trying to solve together. After a shared understanding is created on the problem at hand, create your first release slice. These are the steps you're going to add or remove from the current experience to learn and test in the real world your collective understanding of the problem and the systems around that problem. Every release slice is a learning slice. Success isn't always guaranteed, but learning always is if the intention is put behind it. In the long run, it's the practical, testable knowledge gained around the system surrounding the problem that is far more valuable than any single product success. It is this knowledge gathering, and by extension your deep understanding of how the systems around you really work, that give you the ability to create hits after hits. People can copy the iPhone, the Nintendo Switch, or the storytelling techniques of the Marvel hits, and many do, but this won't give them the knowledge or ability to create the product that will replace these products entirely. That's the real strength of user story mapping. It's the radar to see the invisible systems around you that you can't normally see with your biological senses. It lets you navigate through the fog where others are just blindly stumbling through. The best way to synthesize these maps into your organization or team is to follow Jim Collins' advice from his book, Trait by Choice. fire bullets, then cannonballs. Both User Story Mapping and Blue Ocean Strategy have books on it that I encourage you to read if these introductions to the topic piqued your interest. It's important to instill the map of emergence within systems here. Though these are simple questions and map, using them consistently can really push an organization, team, or individual towards complex behaviors and results. It takes 4 organic molecules: adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. And the mix and match between these molecules end up shaping DNA to produce the vast biodiversity on planet Earth. A vast array of complex structures are created by kids and adults alike every day using simple modular plastic blocks, more commonly known as Lego blocks. Games like chess or Go have fixed small set of pieces and a few rules, but an enormous amount of complexity is created or is emerged from these small interconnecting parts. One of the most important systems to keep in mind when implementing these two frameworks, parts within the current system you're in, is the biological system that is called you. The mental state you're in as you interact with these frameworks will have a huge impact on the results that come out of the system as a result. For those brave enough to try it, do an hour-long meditation called Blessings of the Energy Centers by Dr. Joe Dispenza every time before working with these maps. Use the frameworks without doing these meditations and observe the results firsthand. Life is change. We're all currently living through a nexus of change. The world around us is a reflection of our current collective thinking and the assumptions within that thinking. The world is always pushed forward by those crazy enough to think and act differently. Are you crazy enough? If the answer is yes, we would love to work with you. Atomic Robot is a mobile solutions agency with a goal to move both people and businesses forward. And we would love to move you forward. Let's leave this world better than we found it.